I was amazed that the film was made with stock footage, and the footage was a visual feast for the eyes. So many cool images of CGI, of the earth, of people, of outer space. It was a philosophical masterpiece. The World Cruzer concept was brilliant, about a visitor to a sci fi ship with highly evolved beings watching human mistakes and developments on Earth. I really appreciated the underlying theme of the need for humans to better care for our planet. And I love the varied soundtrack. So much awesome synth, melody, and percussion. The voices were excellent too. The narration and the sci fi characters delivered their lines with such confidence.
One thing I really took from this was the message of unity. Like, some of our lives only make sense together, which I thought was really cool. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but I really, really loved the message here. The music and the sound effects were really cool. Just love the visuals, the colors. I think they came from all different places, but they were really thought out well and put together well. Everything technically was so professional and great. I could just focus on the story and where they were going with it and the message, finding our own purpose again as individuals, and also finding the unity and sharing with each other and having love for everybody, and really having that be our, what we draw on in all of our motivation.
The World Cruzer made me feel like I'm looking at a long, futuristic infographic. And it used several experimental devices, which, made it very different. But it felt almost as if this World Cruzer represents another species, another being who is looking down on Earth and over time researching what makes us us. So much visual aspects. I'm very curious as to how, what the process was in putting them the pieces together the way they did. What was their thought process, and how did this all come to be? Is all of these images shot for the purposes of this experimental film? Is this a collection of footage that was found from various places? I would be very curious to hear what that was about, because that definitely stuck out to me. And the device that they use as far as the text subtitles, I thought was very interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. And then the POV shots, there were several POV shots that were beautifully done. The taking the present out of the box, just to name, a version, but they were filtered all throughout. There was another device that was consistently used as far as the POV, and then the text graphic interchanged with sort of this infographic, futuristic visual elements were devices that I saw used consistently. Yeah, I would love to know the process. If I left feeling any questions, it would just be, what was your process of putting this all together? Because it seemed very complex and very delicate at the same time. And I would just love to know more about how they about with this idea, and how they put it all together.
Really cool, abstract, yet sort of specific cinematic experience. Stunning visuals, really great art direction. Seamlessly, it transitions from footage to CG at parts, and it just kind of keeps you really engaged. Fantastic narration. The voiceover is great. What it's saying really just draws you in, keeps you curious, both, again, visually and audibly. Just really stunning work. You kind of get lost watching it. Really remarkable.
It is a message of inclusion, and that all those things that divide us, religion, race, creed, gender, those no longer have meaning in the sense of leading to conflict. They still exist, but they're cause for celebration, not for concern. Now, there's some irony there in that clearly it's not a film that looks non-ironically on the travails of the Jewish and the Christian faith in the last century. But it's still a potent message, and it bears witness to the good things that can happen when we lay aside our differences. This is an ambitious film. It's certainly a visually pleasing film. If you never listen to any of the dialogue, just listen to the music and what's on the screen, you're going to have a good time for 1 hour and 5 minutes.
I loved the fact that it had this futuristic feel to it, and that all of the digital effects that they did were gorgeous. I mean, it was so incredibly well done. I thought that the filmmakers did a wonderful job with the cinematography and in editing and the voiceovers. I loved the fact that there wasn't just a narrator voiceover. There were actually different character voiceovers in this as well. I thought that was really, really cool. You could tell that the filmmaker had a vision and that they had a story to tell. You knew that right off the bat.
It was about this pact that people, hypothetical pact in the future that people would use to like have a more democratic society, the European model, that type of thing. It was very interesting. The whole experimental had different images and videos of points I was trying to make in the video, in the documentary. It's just really well put together, very interesting. It had a very European auteur feel to it, which is pretty cool. And the way it was delivered, and the narration and the images, storytelling was pretty great.